In campus, they have research labs, and it is good to do more than one internship. If you're wise, and you should be wise, to do more than one internship. Because sometimes things don't go well with one internship. And a relationship takes two people, right? You might be okay, but somehow, professor at that time might have hard time. Maybe, you might have a death in his family. Maybe he got a divorce at the time. Who knows? And he might not be able to really do what he's supposed to do for that relationship, right? Don't blame him, right? That's why, because these things can happen, then it's good to have more than one internship. 2, 3, so that way you have possibilities to obtain a voice letter recommendation that will not hurt you just because something happened to somebody, you see? So, as a rule is, do more than one internship or research experience, different labs, different teachers, Be willing to spend time during the quarters or even in the summer. And some students think that it's a waste of time. No, it's not a waste of time. Students, if they do these things, today they are in a very good schools and they are very happy. And the teacher has many names in his mind right now. Remember the faces, of course, that they are already in very good schools and they're very happy. But they were willing to really do this, to develop this relationship with the teacher. And the teacher believes that they also did the same thing with other teachers. They didn't do just with the teacher who speaks right now. They did the same thing with other teachers. So then they obtained 3 very great recommendation letters. And of course, if you have your grades, then when there's many people there, then these people will be chosen. So, you should think about these things as a growing process, not just as another bored thing to do. Could you give me a recommendation letter? You remember my face? You remember my name? You remember blah blah? No, that's not the way to go. Questions?
I really like the idea. I really like the idea of you connect with your professor. Do you have any lists of what you can do, with internships or help with the website? I'm just trying to think some of my professors don't need help in their lab. They're full. How would I connect with them? Would I just go to their office hours and lock everyone else in their office hours? I'm trying to figure out ways I can do that, connect with people, and not sure how to do this.
It seems like the easiest way would be to go to those hours and start talking about what you plan to do. And you will get a feeling if the teacher has the time, has the will. Because sometimes teachers want to do it, but they don't have time. They are absorbed in other things. So some of them will be able to do it, some of them will not be able to do it. So when you go to those hours, you will be able to get a feel. Who wants to do that, to develop that time together with you. Because it takes time. And out of that, he might give you ideas for another teacher. You might say, I have these skills, and I want to use these skills of mine to contribute to somebody who needs these skills. Maybe that teacher will say, well, I don't need this person like with these skills, but I know one of my colleagues who would like to, So you should be bold. You should be courageous to jump into the river, Don't be afraid of the river, When you jump into the river, it will take you to the ocean. You will find pearls. But if you don't jump into the river, you will never find the pearls. Don't worry. You will not drown. Okay? You will not drown. You will swim. So a lot of students, they feel intimidated and shy to go during those hours. That's something that the teacher has noticed all these years teaching. We need to realize that this is something that it is not coming from outside. It is not the teacher. It is us. We feel that way. And this is something that we need to work on it. We need to work on it during college because that could be a hindrance to our success. If we are shy or we feel intimidated by someone who is in front of us. And if we have that kind of thing, it's a challenge now. during the college to really work on this, be able to stand in front of other people and say your opinion. Be courageous enough to go to the office hours to meet your professor. A lot of, very large fraction of students, the teacher believes, feel intimidated, they feel shy, right? And we need to work on that. You know, you are out of high school now, tomorrow you will be leaders in your fields. So you need not to feel shy and intimidated. We need to realize that that's not coming from outside, it's coming from within us, and we need to work it out. We need to look within and find out why we feel that way, right? One characteristic that really will lead you to green pastures and to be truly successful is humility. And the teacher recalls an example of a head TA. Fortunately, almost all TAs were excellent, but you know, a couple of times, it happened to be 1 or 2 times that you could see there something that you could never give a recommendation letter to that person. You know, the head TA would come and say, this is wrong, it should be this way. And it would be some excuse if the head TA was right about checking the exam, right? Because the teacher gives the exams before he gives them to the exam day, during the exam day, to check it out. If it's some wrong things, some misspelled, typed, even concepts, you know. And not only the head TA was not correct, it was wrong of what he was saying, but their attitude was trying to tell the teacher what to do. So the teacher looked at the head TA and said, before you say it, you should know that there is a different way of doing this. And if you keep doing it like that when you graduate, even if you have a job, you might lose it. And most likely you will not be able to get a job. Even if you were right, that you're not. You should go and check out your chemistry books first, then you do the suggestions. But even if you were right, you would not do it this way. Because that shows the attitude. If you take that person in your company, right, and that's why the teacher would never recommend that person to go into a leadership position. That person will create a lot of problems. He's going to bull around everybody. He's going to be I, me. This person is going to destroy the company if somehow finds some time in the company to be working there. So, you know, humility, an attitude of submission and learning and respect for someone who knows more than you and is willing to help you. He will never help, he will never hurt. He will do everything for you.
I think just for the end, for transfer students, they have a shorter time, maybe a couple of years, to develop a relationship. And a lot of these in here, a lot of the points in here, it seems like it's pretty general information for anyone and everyone. Is there anything quicker in terms of that short amount of time when you have less time to do research, less classes to develop a relationship here that you can think of?
So the question is, if you're a transfer student from somewhere else and you don't have many years to finish and you don't have time to develop that relationship, what are you going to do, right? More or less, something like that is the question. Well, the transfer student is coming from somewhere, right? There is no really excuse here because wherever he comes from, whatever it is, a year, 2 years, he can have a recommendation letter from these people that he was from where he comes from. And like the teacher said before, if there is a good attitude and a good, a sincere desire to do what it takes to have a good recommendation letter, that can even happen in 1 month. Because it's what you have inside you, already there. And even if you don't have what it takes, by being sincere and having a good attitude to work with a teacher for some time, even if you're not taking classes, even though you're not in his lab, by just meeting sometimes with the teacher, and share your aspirations, your fears, your doubts, your visions, what you want to do in your life. That teacher will come to know you. So it's not really a matter of time here. It's not, let's do it now. It's just, we see this a growing process that takes time. And if you're already there, as the teacher said before, here's a student who was just doing of hours for 3 months, not even 3 months, the quarter is not even 3 months. And then he accepted the leadership position to create a club, and with the emails coming back and forth, the speed, the obedience, the organization skills, the think before the teacher thinks something. It was marvelous. It was just unbelievable. The teacher is confident. Here's a recommendation letter for a scholarship in 1 month after the quarter was over. And later on, as the relationship develops, and by the time he graduates, he's going to have an extremely positive letter of recommendation because the teacher believes in him. He knows him. So, yeah, there's not an excuse really if you transfer. If you didn't do it before, right? Now you know, and you do it wherever you are today. You start today. Forget the past. Don't live in the past. Use it as a storage house to learn from the past. Don't dwell in the past. The past is like a grave. Nobody wants to dwell in a grave. Just learn something from the past. Don't dwell in it. Forget the past. Learn from it. Don't dwell in it. Doesn't matter. Sometimes it's not your fault that relationship was not good, so now you can have a recommendation letter. Teacher knows examples like that even from his own personal life, right? The relationship takes two. If one is not really willing, then that relationship is not going to be good. Even your attitude and your feelings are okay, you will not have a good relationship, you will not have a good recommendation letter. That's why it is good to do more than one internship, more than one mentors, more than one teachers to really know you, not just one or two, more. You have 3, 4, 5, and then you choose. This is the way life is. We cannot control other people's feelings and beliefs, right? So you try to do your best.